Hello everybody out there, this is Otto Singh from SmartTech and today welcome to the part 2 of the TreeIT series and today we will cover the materials. So I've got these two materials from my landscape kit. These are pretty much set up, but what I'm going to do is walk you through this simple bark material that is fully functional. I'm going to walk you through this one because we can cover up this really quickly, alright? And then we are gonna work on this simple leaf material, alright? It's pretty simple, so no worries about that. Okay, so just create a bark material if you want to follow along, or if you want to just watch the explanation right now. I'm gonna explain every part of this. So first thing that you want to do is check this, use material attributes. So our main master input takes a material attribute that has all the information like viscous, specular, roughness, normal, etc. already in it. Alright. So first I'm going to take my base textures, alright, and then I'm going to take another set of textures, that is my blend textures that I created, if you remember, in part 1, and then I'm going to use a node called make material attributes. Alright, so make material attributes, this one. So it kind of functions like this. If I put this directly in here, these attributes, a material with these maps and roughness value will show up. Alright, so now that I've got this set up, what I want to do is, well, I want to start working a way so that I could basically want to blend my this blend texture at the bottom, and as I go up this should appear. So for that I'm gonna use a linear gradient, um, a V gradient in it. So V is vertical, start previewing node. I want to see this, that side, let it load. I'm actually recording, so it can be a little sluggish right now. I'll just wait for it. Live preview, my bad, sorry. Enable. Now, as you can see, the white is down here, and as it moves up, it goes to black, right? So it's pretty straightforward actually. To delete this, since it's just for preview, I am using a power node to basically control the contrast between these values, the black and white values, which will help me to control the distance of the blend and the fading amount. Alright, so if I, let's just say, set this to something like black, it should mostly turn complete black. Um, let it load. Now, as you can see, we have changed the blend direction. Now it will soon get a very bright color, if you a very bright or dark color that is not in the range of 0 to 1. So in the end I am using a clamp node to bring it into those values. Alright, now I'd like to set this back to 2. That's a very good value in this case. So it's basically take the value and raise the power 2. Alright, so I'm gonna multiply it with a scalar parameter to control the brightness or the intensity, and I'm going to add a static switch node, and I'm gonna add a boolean parameter that gives us the option to invert the gradient. If it is true, then I will use my inverted value using this 1 minus x node. I'm gonna use this, or else I'm just gonna use my simple linear gradient. And after the end I'm gonna clamp this, and now I'm gonna use this gradient that I'm using, this gradient that I get, and notice here I have set this to inverted for some reason, doesn't matter. Stop previewing node, and I'm gonna use it to blend material attributes. Now if you're thinking, why are you using this particular node to blend, it's because you see These are creating material attributes that have all these base color, specular, roughness, normal infos in this. If I wanted to use a blur, it will basically end up giving me an error. I can't even plug it in here because let's just say these material attributes are basically collections of these values, while this can take only one particular value. All right. So if I wanted to use a love, I will have to do love between this and this using this alpha, and same for my specular and normals and my roughness as well. So what I instead this did was check this so that I use material attributes and don't have to use my linear interpolate node a lot of times. So I made material attributes here. I blended between them using blend material attributes, and simple alpha basically works like log, but it basically blends two complete materials and uses that final values that it gets to serve as the main material in the end, right? So this output will be the blended material, and I'm going to use this um, as my main material. So that's it for about. Hope you understood it. Just go through it again if you want to, and ask in the comments if you feel like it. And now this is my leaves master. I'm not gonna walk you through it like that. I'm just gonna make it. So I have created a material here. All right, and here we go. First, what you want to do is check some stuff. Alright, so let me just redo all this. In the blend mode, set it to mask. Alright, and it should open this up, opacity mask. So what this particular thing does is it tell you have a, if you have a mask that is 1 and 0, in a grayscale value, of course. So the white areas will be visible, and the blacker areas will not be visible to the player. Alright, so now what you want to do is leaves have subsurface color, that is, if light passes through them, at the back side of light, at the back side of the leaf, you will see it kind of a lighter or different shade of color. That is because of the scattering. And to do that, we will use two-sided foliage. Alright, this should open up subsurface color. So first thing we want to do is, now that we have a bark and stuff, we're wondering what to use, where to use, what textures to use in that bark, right? So here you go. I'm just gonna create a new folder. Two, two, three. I'm gonna open it up, and first we exported this tree. I'm gonna import it again. I'm gonna import it into UE4 and load it up, and by then I will just open these up. TreeIT exported the textures that we used, and we exported this billboard um, BMP BIM, BMP file, sorry, and just select all these and drag them in here, right? Now as you can see, we have got this basic leaf textures with this. Bark 3 and Bark 1 should be imported as an on the map. That is very good. And I have my leaf textures. Alright, so what do we do now? Right, we have got this material. Now that, remember, we have already created the bark material. Make sure to follow along. If you didn't, just rewind and do it. Tutorial 3, right? This is an instance that I created. I will move it here to keep things, you know, let's just say uh, maintained for once. Is it bark 2? I doubt it. You see, it is bark 1 here. So what I should be doing is just delete it to keep things orderly. Um, this is one area that you sometimes get. what could happen right now is this bark one might not import. I don't know why, but it will import. Just try another again and it imports very good. So let's see what are we doing on time. 10 minutes. That is pretty solid, I guess. But we still have to make. Yep, as you can see, I'm gonna import this. Fail to import. What should we do now? Unfortunately, for some particular reason, just reading it as some kind of material. Force delete. Alright, so now what do you want to do? You want to open the static mesh and in here you want to apply material. That is a bark shader. And in this instance, what you want to do is apply those textures, right? First thing, I don't want to invert the gradient, I want to keep it good. Alright, so actually my textures were imported. I applied my textures invertedly, so I became a lazy ass and just added an option to invert the textures, right? So bark one, specular. Okay, so what do we do now? Yeah. Bark 3, no wait, sorry. Bark 3 in here, my normals in here. So this is my bottommost, right? Specular in here. Alright, so now bark 1 normals going here. Did I select 1? No, I didn't. Bark 1 normals going here. Bark 1 specular goes in here. Alright, but we still have that horrific problem. So what do we do? First, try some stuff like saving and try to import it again after a while. Or you could just restart this project. As you can see, I saved it and for some reason it worked. Now, as you can see, I've got this mossy texture at the bottom, and as it moves up, it becomes way better. Alright? Okay, so what do we have here? Now, as you can see, mossy texture at the bottom near the roots, and maybe I want to, spread this. So what I do is increase this to 0, which will give me a full moss texture, which I really don't want. Now, a value of 1 is quite interesting. I think I like it. I'll go with it. Just play with it if you want to. Now, what you want to do now is go ahead. First thing first, I'm gonna open that again. Alright. I'm gonna go here. I'm going to create a material instance already. I'm just gonna move it in here. I'm gonna go select this and put this in here. So they should turn up black because as of yet there's nothing in that graph, right? Open it up now and close this. Just extra CPU performance that we don't want to consume. So now first thing, go in here. We got these 4 textures that we are going to use a lot. The first thing I want to show you guys is I'm going to pick any one of these textures. As you can see in here, in the text, in the material that exported with it, there was the whole plane was visible, right? How do we fix that? And there is a map called alpha in this, that is the alpha channel in here, that is the 4th channel. It contains a pure black and white value, like the other channels of course, but this tells the area that this needs to be visible. Alright, so this is basically my alpha channel of the leaf. So as you can see here, if I add this, what will happen, it is going to happen no matter what we do, is actually it will happen until we fix it. I'm going for a plane. Alright, this normal values that we see here will be visible in here as well. It will give it bumps that we don't want. So how do we fix it? We just take these RGB values and we multiply with them with our black and white values. So it will basically tell our material graph where our material, as you can see, these normal values are quite visible. So I'm just gonna multiply by their own alpha. So in the white areas, the normals will be visible. In the black areas, they won't be visible. I've got my base color, my subsurface color, and my specular. I'm just gonna go ahead, do something like this, multiply, add specular, base color. Now I still have to use that opacity mask because this whole plane will still show up. And how do we prevent that? Go ahead and put this into the opacity mask. Either you can multiply these or you could just use the opacity mask, which I'm gonna do, right? So the opacity mask will basically tell it where to put that stuff, where to process. Alright, so this color. Actually, we don't need this multiplier anymore, do we? So put this. I just held control and left click and dragged it in here. Alright, so let's wait for the first load, shall we? This is my specular, this is my for right now, I'm just gonna use this as my subsurface color. Till then, I'll wait. My notes, please come on. Time. Let's see if we got anything in here. Let me just exit that. Okay, so what we have here is basically we imported our billboards and stuff. Now I'll actually move on. Now as you can see, we have got our base texture mask using the alpha opacity mask, right? And you can use this, add a scalar value here and put this into the opacity, but since these are leaves, we always want it to be one, right? Okay, so what you want to do now is basically uh, just drag it out a bit. I'm going to add an option here. I want to say I'm gonna use static switch parameter. I'm going to say use triple S maps. So in this case, if it's true, it is going to use this map, which I'm going to convert into a parameter and name it triple S subsurface scattering. Do it for all of them. Normal, convert to parameter, spec, standing for specular, and BSC, basic. Just some quick names that I use in tutorials. Okay, so what I want to do is, I want to say if you are using a triple S map or not, right? So if you want to use, um, what you could do is, in the false value, I'm going to add another static switch parameter. So static switch parameter, and this one I'm going to name use base color overlay. Alright, sorry, just okay. So now what I want to do is, if there we don't want any triple S map, we want to just use a base color instead of any triple S map. Alright, but if we want to, let's just say, use a base color but we want to add a custom color to it, what do? We add this use base color overlay static switch parameter, just another option that you can change in the instance, right? And we're gonna say blend overlay. Alright, so this will go in the blend, and I'm just gonna hold 3, left click, right click, convert to parameter, triple S underscore color, and I'm just gonna put this in here, give it a shade of green, I guess. I think this will do right now. We'll see it later, but now as you can see, things have started to go messy. So what you can do is drag out from this input. Now remember, um, input, a node can take only one input. So if I add any other node between, if I drag this out and add a node, it will be added between this connection only if possible, if it is supported. Because um, an input, a node can take only one input, while if I add a node from here, it will generate as a different node away from this link, because um, nodes can have a lot of outputs, right? So I mean a lot of output connections. So what you want to do is reroute. So this is basically to manage your connections. So add this into blend. Alright, instant managing happening here. Alright, so what I will say, take this info, put it in here, and use this info in here as well as here. Alright, so in here we have overlaid this color. Now let's put that off. And then what you want to do is, first thing, give it a metallic option. Alright, you can of course parameter change it into a parameter and use it. Okay, so we have got our subsurface set up. We just want to do one thing. We want to add an option to you. Instead of using base color, simple base color, we want to use an option to overlay another color but keep those details of the original base color. So what do? Originally you would use uh, for a look, you will use a black and white info. What you could do is use this info directly when you are blending between three vectors. So what you do, three vectors, select them both, convert to parameter. I won't bother renaming them right now. None underscore one and none. Place them down here so they're ordered. Hold L for a look. It will make them blend alpha, and now just hold control. Since this is gonna be our base color, all the base color should go here and the triple S should be processed from here, right? So what you want to do now is give it a color. You know what? First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to apply this. It's, it will get dangerous as I keep on recording, right? Because the recording is kind of slowing me down. let let it apply the changes, and yeah, as you can see, we still have our details, tiny details, but it's all black. How do we change that? We just got to change the colors, right? Like to give it an orange shade there, and in my secondary color, um, shade like this, I think, will work wonders. Let's see how it goes later on. Um, I really wanted to go for a shade like this. Yeah, alright. So we have done this. Now we want to add an option whether to use this or whether to use the base color. Simple base color for all the further operations. Just Control C and Control V, or you could directly do Control W, right? So Control drag, since we want to do all the operations based on the final output of this node, alright? So whether true or whether false. Base color overlay. Now, one handy thing, you can view it in here, how it will turn out. So it is pretty unordered and hard to find what you are looking for, right? So I'm just going to use groups. I'm going to select these and name them BSC, stands for base color, and just to order it, I'm going to add a 0 in front of it. Base color, select this, 0 base color, select this, 0 base color. Now as you can see, we have got our base color properties here, right? So now next thing, specular, go in here, in this spec, I'm gonna put that in here, normal, and this all will be going into subsurface, right? So triple S. For some reason, this triple S, you can't, you can either change to or you can't interchange, means you can't have a texture parameter. You have to set them differently. I mean, you have to first set this stuff for some reason and then you will be able to set this. You can't select all of them at once and change the group, right? Because it just, the options disappear. Oh great. Okay, we are back. Put this into triple S. And as you can see, our none has disappeared because nothing here is using that as an option. So as you can see, base color, normal, spec, triple S, and we are done. But let's just say where's the win, leaves moves right, and we have added any functionality for win to it, right? But let's see what it looks like. I'll just continue on. Okay, so what we want to do to add wind is work position offset. It basically moves, it is used to operate on the existing polygons, alright? So what you, there is a simple default node called wind, simple grass wind or wind, whatever you want to use. Alright, so what I want to use here is simple grass wind, alright? Just delete this. Wind intensity, just name this stuff accordingly. 10 the intensity, alright, weight, this will control the speed and this will control the weight of it, or like how much it is affecting this particular object, weight. And since it's a vector 3, there's, let's just say you are getting errors upon errors, you don't know the proper one to use in here. Let's just say you can't use this, right? Oh, yes you can now. What you want to do is basically uh, right click, promote to parameter. This will automatically create something for you and it will name it accordingly. Best part of UE4. It is the same in blueprints as well. So pretty handy trick, quick and easy. That's all we have to do. I'm just gonna increase the intensity, set this to 0.1. I think that will do it. Let's see. Ah, this color looks so bad. Doesn't matter right now. Now, as you can see, our instance will soon load up. And you know what? I want to turn this off. Thank you. Um, turn bin settings are all we're gonna need, and I'm gonna drag this in. Now we have got scale issues, right? So actually, I've scaled it by 50 times in here. So don't compare it with this, please, because this landscape alone it is pretty big. Um, let's just compare it with size. As you can see, it's already very small. So what you want to do basically is open this up and go here. Maybe do something like 5, 5, and 5. It's in the build settings. Apply changes. Boom. Or you could just do this in Blender, but I find this handy to get a base scale and increase as you wish accordingly. You can revert back changes as well. Just set the scale back to 1 and 1 and 1. And here we go. We have got ourselves a pretty solid looking tree, right? And yes, we need to get better details here. And yeah, that's it. But we have got some problems here that we can't see right now. And I'll point it out to you guys soon. Just hang on, right? Now, let me open up. Wait, we made a problem. Use triple S maps if you it will use this, if not it will use that. Is it set? Yes it is. If it's false it will use this. Now I want to set this to true. Since I've set this to false, it's automatically using my base color and that is not giving me such good results as you would expect from something like UE4 having all these maps and stuff. I'd set this back to default so it turns up. If I turn this off, I have the option. Yes, we forgot one thing. Let's just say, you want this, but you want to overlay the triple S map itself. Again, add a static source parameter. It's basically the same thing, right? Triple S underscore color. If it's false, use this normal. Wow. If it's true, use an map that is overlaid by another color. So what you do is right click, try to make sure that it doesn't hang. Yeah, thank you. Alright, so sorry for that guys, my bad. Promote to parameter, triple S, blend. Name this back to triple S and triple S, and that's all you gotta do, right? So we have got a wind, a specular, a normal, a pretty complicated triple S setup to beginners, for beginners only, remember that, and a simple base color. That's all you will need, right? So, and a very simple tree as well that we created in the last part. If you haven't seen it, you can see it. I'll just let it load up. Next part will cover LODs. That is, I'll basically set up billboards and I'll point out an error in this video. Since we are coming nearly to the end, I'll point out the error and I'll fix it in the next part. That is the last part where major of the work is in Blender itself, alright? Or any other 3D modeling software which you can use any other 3D modeling software if you know what you are doing in there. This is something new, not exactly new, but hey, it's something. I'm going to delete this because why is it still referencing this? It is space, alright. Delete this. Maybe it's causing some kind of errors that we don't want or need. Doesn't look like it. Wow. Till then, I'll have a look at base color overlay I have set off. Use triple S maps, color paint. I don't want. I might want to show you guys sooner or later. I'll see. Sorry for that. Yeah, that did it. Alright. So now we have got this. Let's say triple S color blend. Hell yeah. Don't worry, it won't take long. Or it might. Just till then I'll change my colors a bit till I'm satisfied. Again, save it. It seems to do the trick every time. Now, as you can see, our leaves are appearing here, but not here. And that's what we want actually. From far away, they should look dense. And it really doesn't matter if, because the player really can't see it from beneath here. But he can see it from here, right? Now, because I changed my subsurface color, it has gone neon green, right? Because it's so bright here. It changes to dull black. As you can see, only the parts that are behind the sun are changing their color. Let's just say I want just a slight tint of green there, right? There, right. That looks so much better. Now here's the problem. As you can see, some of it's just not even close to the branch. It looks like it has been pasted randomly. Um, as you can see, it is just inverted, right? So what you want to do is basically you want to rotate this, rotate the UVs of the mesh. So instead of reading those textures like this, it reads the textures in this way, the proper way, so that this stem part, actually this small twig-like part, end of the leaf, start of leaves, is near the branch, and that is something we desperately need. And I'm going to show you guys how to fix it in part 3. So hang on. Goodbye until next time.